thought to give you some feeling. You were using that thought to give you some kind of experience. So you only thought the thoughts that gave you the feelings that you wanted to experience. So this is the way it works. First, you decide on what you would like to feel or experience, and then you give yourself the thoughts, the physical circumstances that allow you to have that experience. It's not that you have the experience and then you have a feeling about it. The truth is, you had the feeling, the desire for the feeling first, then you thought the things that would give you the feeling. Okay, that's the way it really works. If I get up in a cranky mood, then I'm going to think the thoughts that make me feel cranky. But that came from my desire to feel cranky to begin with. So I said it again. Every thought that you have is a prop. Every physical circumstance that you have in your life is a prop. Your whole life is a prop. It's a prop that you're using for your play. Your play is here to give you certain experiences that your soul has decided to have. Certain feelings that your soul has decided to have. We are one, we are all one, deciding to experience the separation, forgetting that we are one so that we can have the experience of the separation. And we having certain thoughts and relationships in order to give us a certain feeling that we're desiring to have. So we always, all day long, we're trying to evoke certain feelings. So if you want to feel really, really happy, there are certain thoughts you're going to think. You're going to be certain people you're going to think about. You're going to think about something that you enjoyed, but you're doing that to evoke a feeling that you want to have. Now the challenge that we have is that we have learned to judge our feelings. And so we think some feelings are okay, some feelings are not okay. Generally speaking, anger is not okay. But thinking that I feel peaceful every minute is okay. So when a person is giving themselves what they call the experience of anger, for instance, they have a tendency, rather than to go ahead and feel that emotion, they have a tendency to try to stop it, repress it, and pretend like they don't have it because they're trying to be spiritual or on a higher level of consciousness. So instead of feeling the feeling, and then letting the feeling change to something more loving, we stuff and repress the feeling because we think it's not a feeling we're supposed to have. And in doing that, all we do is order our mind to come up with another thought that's going to give us that same feeling. So first I was mad about my money, then I'm mad about my mom, then I'm mad about my mate, now I'm mad about my car. I'm thinking all these thoughts to make me angry because what I really want to do is just feel that feeling. So if I just go ahead and feel the feeling, then it takes my mind off of the thought that created the feeling, and there's nothing to forgive because you're not even thinking about what caused the thought anymore, because the purpose of the thought was just to give you the feeling to begin with. I thought about my mama upsetting me because I wanted to feel the experience of my anger. If I let myself feel it, then there's no need to keep thinking about my mama to make me feel angry. So if you want to transcend the thought that you've been trying to get rid of, and you've been spending all your time trying to think of how you can not be angry at your mother, for instance, it would be better to feel the anger that you're giving yourself, because that's why you're thinking about your mama, so that you can have that energy and that feeling transformed. And then you're not going to even think about your mom anyway, because the whole purpose of thinking about my mom was to make me feel the feeling. So we were put here to have experiences. We judge ourselves for the experiences that we have, so we don't allow ourselves to fully feel them, and so we keep thinking of things to recreate the feeling. Everybody with me on that?
Yeah.
That's what we do all day long. You tell me what you thought about today, and I'll tell you what you wanted to feel today. And your ego is going to tell you, the part of us that doesn't know the truth is going to tell us that, well, my mother not calling me back last night is what made me mad. No, I decided to be mad. I thought about my mother didn't call me, and now I'm feeling angry. Now I'm trying to pretend I don't feel it, because I shouldn't be feeling it.
Mercy.
So since I won't let myself feel it, I'll think about the cable guy that didn't come on time. Why? Because I want to feel angry. So if I go ahead and feel my feeling, whether it's joy or anger, it will transform and it will disappear and it will dissipate, because we came here to experience what it would be like thinking that we were separate, and now we get ready to learn what it would be like remembering our oneness again. Any question about that before I go on? Because I would want to kind of do a review.
Where does the desire for a certain feeling come from? Why would I desire to feel mad or angry for a day? Or why would I?
Well, that's what really the ultimate reason for any of those things is because it makes you feel separate from love. So if I want to have a feeling of, if I want to have an experience of separation, Well, usually I have to have some form of fear in order to feel separate. Think about it. Think about it. If I want to feel separate from you, then I got to come up with something that keeps me thinking I'm separate from you. So if I can focus on feelings and emotions that make me feel separate, then it actually is reinforcing my separate identity. Another way to look at it is that if you feel anger, really what you're really feeling, let's take the label anger off the feeling. Just for a second. Let's just pretend that anger is just a label. A label I'm putting on a feeling I'm having. Take the label off and it's just a feeling. I came here to have all kinds of feelings. That's one. I came here to have all kinds of experiences. That's one. But I judge it. So rather than going, oh, this is the way I feel right now, I go, oh, this is a feeling I shouldn't be feeling, especially if I'm a spiritual student and I've been looking at my book for 3 years. I've been looking at this book for 3 years, I'm spiritual. How am I still getting mad? Okay. So what I'm saying, which is the cool part for you to hear, is your feelings are innocent. All your feelings are just your feelings. And as soon as we stop judging them, the sooner we'll start enjoying them. Because unless you actually physically attack your mother, the feelings you have about your mother are not affecting your mother. You're the only one that's feeling it. So since you're the only one that's feeling what you feel, it would be to your advantage to at least allow it to be an innocent feeling that you're choosing to have at that moment without judging it as bad or good. Then it will move on. Then it will change. So if you would start, when you find yourself getting ready to judge or criticize or get upset, if you could take a second to take a breath and go, wait a minute, I'm thinking this thought to evoke this feeling. I'm thinking this thought because I want to evoke the feeling this thought gives me. Forget the thought. I want to have this feeling. I'll go ahead and feel this feeling. Then you get past the thought and the pattern will stop. The trick is to analyze the thought. The trick is to analyze the thought. Like you were saying, the temptation to go, well, why do I want to be angry? You see what I mean? Now, you know, and that's a natural question. But really the answer is, how do I deal with the anger that I'm feeling now? Even more so than why am I feeling it? Well, now I know why I'm feeling it, because I want to feel all feelings. I want to have all experience. I came here to have all experience. This is one of the ones I'm choosing to have. End of guilt about your anger. End of guilt about your sadness. End of guilt about your worry. It's just a feeling that you wanted to have because you came here to experience. Somebody over there had their hand up?
No, but I wanted to say something.
Yeah,
so
go
you
ahead.
saw that.
Mm-hmm.
When you said judging your feelings good or bad, I've always only had a problem with judging bad feelings.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden I saw it.
Did you see it?
I saw it, and what I saw is when I have good feelings, then I start worrying about when I'm not going to feel this good.
Mm-hmm.
And screw that up too.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, oh, yeah. So it doesn't matter. If it's good and I judge it, it ruins it just as bad as if it's bad and I judge it.
Yeah, it's the judging that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's the judging it.
Cool.
And just think how great your day would go if you were not judging yourself for all the feelings you had all day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trick. It's a trick to think on the way to having spiritual peace, you're going to feel spiritual peace all the time. It is a trick. You're not going to feel peaceful on the way to having unlimited peace all the time.